This is for the bozos who don't know. This is for the bozos in this hole. This is for the bozos who don't know. Don't join the circus if you ain't a clown. That's my song for y'all this morning. I want to make a public service announcement for y'all to go and check out Bozos by my boy Toby Inunwowe, however you say his last name. I wanted to come on here and say, don't join the circus if you ain't a clown. I seen the status last night, and I'm always going to be vague. I'm not going to point people out, because that's just not my heart. It's never been, like I said. But I seen a status last night that basically talk about, forgiveness and not holding things against people. And I'm totally with it. But what I wanted to come on here and say is that, and this is by somebody, okay, so let's just say this so I can be more vague. Forgiveness is talked a lot about in church, right? And a lot of times what you find is church leadership, and even people that's just in church that use scriptures for their benefit and for their defense. So, I got these scriptures pinned here. The first scripture is 1 Corinthians 13, verse 5. And another translation would say, love keeps no record of wrong, right? And so if you look at that, love keeps no record of wrong, this verse could actually be used to basically kind of defend yourself and insulate yourself to say, love keeps no record of wrongs. So, you can't bring, what I did back up. And, Jesus says, forgive 70 times 70. So, you got to forgive me. And, if you don't forgive, then you got unforgiveness. And there's big talk about unforgiveness, especially in churches, especially when it comes to people that are against, the term church hurt. Oh, that just means you got forgiveness in your heart and you holding an offense. And I'm going to the store. I got to get some juice and milk for my babies and some water for the house. But yeah, you unforgiving. This topic goes, I guess, with the topic of church hurt, because I guess it could be argued as well. Hope y'all can still hear me with this mask on. Unforgiveness can also be put together with this topic of church hurt as well. And they can use scripture out of context or biasly, like 1 Corinthians 13:5, where it says love thinks no evil, which basically says keeps no record of wrong. I looked it up. I looked up an article yesterday, and it brought up a good point. And the point that it made up is that, Paul was the person that wrote 1 Corinthians 13:5 out of the inspiration of the Spirit. What's up, Sherry? So he wrote 1 Corinthians 13:5, basically where it says not to keep record of wrong, right? Don't keep record of wrong. But then if you look at 2 Timothy chapter 14, 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 14 through 15, it would appear that Paul is keeping a record of wrong, because he says what? He says, Alexander the coppersmith. Keep in mind, the Bible is not just some rule book. The Bible is like real letters. He's writing to a real church about what's really happening, right? So he's talking to Timothy, and he says thank you, Sherry. He's talking to Timothy, right? So he says to Timothy, Alexander the coppersmith did me much evil. The Lord reward him according to his works, of whom beware also. Beware, because he have greatly withstood our words. So basically Paul is saying, look, Alexander, this coppersmith did me wrong. Watch out for this dude. But Paul, I thought you said to keep no record of wrong. And, love keeps no record of wrong. So you must not like him and you must not love him because you're keeping a record. You're telling me to watch out for him. You're telling me that he did you wrong. So you're remembering the wrong. And you're telling other people to watch out for him. What I want to say is this. Like I said in the other video, sometimes leadership, especially the pastors, they will use God told me as an excuse to abuse. They do. It just is what it is. Leadership, pastors will use God told me to abuse. And the bad thing about it is that they're teaching and they're discipling. We want to talk about discipleship classes and stuff. We're discipling every single Sunday, every time we get together, every time we're around you. Every time Jesus was around his disciples, he was discipling them through lifestyle discipleship. So discipleship is not a class, it's a lifestyle. Every time so that's one thing. Pastors will use verses incorrectly to justify certain things. Oh, God told me this, and because God told me, you can't tell me different. Just because God said something doesn't give you an excuse to abuse people or to mischaracterize people or to say that they're hurt, that they're expressing as a church, as a part of the church, doesn't exist. You can't use God told you to fund and support claims like, oh, you just hurt, so you want to go and do what you want to do. And literally, I've presented plenty of examples to where you can hear for yourself that this is done, not just by the particular person that I posted about, but about it's a culture in the church to where it's just like, oh, I'm going to defend myself with the word. You can't do that. There is no defense of you with the word. God is for the marginalized. If you didn't know, you should. And government tries to do this. Pastoral leadership tries to do this. They try to use God to justify them hurting people and them abusing people and them neglecting people. And you can't do that. So I just wanted to present these two scriptures, both by Paul, one that says keep no record of wrong, and then one that says that basically he kept the record of wrong for the purpose of defending people so that they wouldn't run into the same coppersmith and be done wrong. No matter what way you cut it, don't keep record of wrongs, and using love to say that love keeps no record of wrong does not excuse abuse by spiritual leadership. A lot of times people want to think about church hurt and pastoral leadership. They try to paint it a certain way to excuse themselves. And I just wanted to make this very clear. You can't excuse yourself. You will not excuse church hurt, and you will not mischaracterize somebody as being unforgiving because they remember a fault that you did. Have you changed? Have you went and repented? Have you said, I'm sorry? Or are you the same person that caused this person to leave? Because if you are, they actually need to be aware of you. What's up? That's it. I'm going to check out, and I can't be on this live checking out. So I hope y'all have a great day. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. All right.